Innovative content. Global audience.
Hello, good morning, viewers. A very warm welcome to you from the world's capital city, London. My name is Princess Kessy. This is the weekly Bulletin, where we'll bring you every highlight recap of the week. Of course, a lot has happened this week. Quite a lot, if you ask me. I'm talking about the passing of Mohbad, the Nigerian fast rising artist. And of course, we have issues as regarding the Naira. What is happening to our Naira? These are some of the questions we'll be discussing today. And of course, we have a lot of issues coming from the states, e.g. Edo State. Quite a lot going on there with the deputy and the governor. I don't know what's happening, but I'll recall that I brought somebody from that state, an honorable, that did say everything was well. It's just social media or media mumbo jumbo, but we don't know what is happening as of today. Anyway, good morning, viewer. My name is Princess, and of course, this morning I have with me a very vibrant Nigerian youth to discuss some of these issues with us. He's no other than Emmanuel Chiko Igbigbisi, PhD, so that you know you're clear that we're here with serious-minded people. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, Princess. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Yes, quickly, I want us to start with Mohbad. He's a youth. He was fast coming, uprising, and his life was cut short. This is what a lot of people are saying. And there are a lot of questions. Here in London, we did have 2 days ago, I covered that live broadcast of candlelight procession for him. And yesterday we saw that Nigerian Lagos was the gog. The streets were covered. A lot of people, they came out for that procession as well. And there are a lot of questions. The body has been exhumed, and the police is saying the autopsy is done. It's just we're waiting for the results. Of course, the announcement of that result. Now, a lot of questions have been arising, Mr. Emmanuel, as to people feel like it's beyond the nurse alone, even though the nurse is not in custody. People feel like it's beyond the nurse alone. A lot of people are pointing accusing finger, of course, on the former record label. But there are a lot of questions people are asking as well. What happened? Why was it buried so quickly? What kind of injection was given to him? And of course, why the delay in exhuming the body? Where was the mother all this while, and why would the father even hurry to bury him? As of yesterday, we saw a lot of footages that are very sensitive. I can't bring on air right now, where a lot of people are alleging that the blood was still very fresh. I saw a video yesterday as well where I saw the body during the autopsy, and we saw that the body is still quite very fresh now. What do you make of all this, Mr. Emmanuel?
Firstly, I have to. It's a pity that the boy had to die the way he died, and the situation and circumstances surrounding the boy's death calls for a lot of questioning, which Nigerians are doing already. And to me, I believe we should be patient a little with the authorities, and at least for the very first time, have the belief that the authorities will do the right thing. Because it is only a system that you believe in that you will finally take the result, Now, I am not a medical expert to, really talk about why the body is still very fresh and the blood that was in the gasket or the coffin. But the truth is that, especially in the hospital where he was given injection, a lot of things happened there. For the nurse, I believe the nurse panicked because of the kind of persons that went to the hospital with Mohbad. And our medical facilities, both private and public in Nigeria here, seriously, they are not upping their game. I believe if you give somebody injection and maybe something happened, the person's body reacted and maybe the person collapsed, there are other things the nurse or the doctor on call supposed to do to keep the guy, alive, or to keep him.
And that was what people said yesterday. Who even declared him dead in the first place?
I am so sure no medical doctor declared him dead. I am so sure. Because from all that has been happening, from all we'll be hearing, it is only the nurse in quotes that, her name or the nurse has been the one at the center of this issue. Now, you see, those young men that were in the vehicle with Mohbad, those guys, they need to really answer some serious questions. They need to come out aside, reporting, turning themselves on to the police or them being arrested. There are a lot of questions those guys only can answer Nigerians. That is the truth. Now, I so much believe the pressure from those guys made the nurse to panic, because you see the way those guys were reacting on the live video. Mohbad is dead. Mohbad is this. Mohbad is that. Why not? I don't just know what led to that panic in that hospital at that particular point in time. And there is another voice note that came out. The person said he's an eyewitness of what happened in that place. From what the guy said, you just agree with me that the panic at that particular time in the hospital went because of the celebrity status of Mohbad. If Mohbad was a nobody, that panic in quote would have been there. Then number two, those guys that took Mohbad to the hospital. Now the thing is, where was Mohbad before those guys carried him to the hospital? Was Mohbad in his house with the wife, or where was he? Was he coming there for a normal routine checkup and all normal routine treatment, or what happened? Because from the voice recording from that eyewitness, it seems that Mohbad even went there walking on his own. He was not brought to that place as if he
was physically ill.
You understand?
Of course, he paid. He did made a deposit for a car. He was supposed to take delivery on Friday. That means 3 days before he died. That means he was quite strong to an extent.
Yes. Even the guy with that voice recording, whatever. The guy said he had to take a selfie with him, because you know how celebrities are. When you see a celebrity, if you're a fan of that celebrity, definitely you want to have a picture with him to tell your friends or people that, yeah, man, so time I met Mohbad, or so celebrity in so place. If Mohbad was that ill, there would be time for him to start taking selfie with a fan. So those people, the nurse and those other guys in the hospital that took Mohbad there, that took Mohbad out of the hospital, that were doing that video that Mohbad is dead, those guys need to answer to what happened to Mohbad. That is it.
Well, we do hope that we await eagerly. Nigerians can't even keep calm. They're waiting. This is no longer a Nigerian issue alone, as it has become a global issue. As of yesterday, we saw in New York as well procession ongoing as well in the United States of America. Now we have Germany and Canada. So it has become a global issue, and we feel like if it's not well handled, it's going to be a major problem. And we hope that Nigerian police as well, the authorities, will give us a straightforward report as regarding that autopsy. We know that a lot of things would have happened to him before he died. Like he did say in most of the lyrics, he went through a lot of depression, and even people are attesting to that he kept saying they're after him, they're going to kill him and all that. But let's see, we'll wait and see as regarding the results of that autopsy. Well, last night they said the autopsy was completed. We were still waiting for that result. And away from that, I'm still going to bring you on that issue. There are some things I want you to address as regarding Nigerian youths, because this has to do with the youth. But let's move quickly now. This morning, a lot of news coming to us this morning. Now, let's talk about our Naira. You see that for days now, the Naira, as of today, we can see that it's over, $1 is over 1,000 Naira here, and of course, £1 is equivalent to, as of yesterday, is equivalent to 1,200 Naira. Now, what do you make of this?
I would say it's unfortunate that we as a country, Nigeria as a country, we've refused to learn over time. And if we are not careful, the naira will continue to crash against the dollar and the pounds. If we are not careful, in quote. Now, almost everything we consume in Nigeria, we import them. Almost everything we consume, from the fabrics of the clothes we wear to already made clothes we wear, even toothpick, pencil that our kids used to write in school. Just name them. Now, when there is this has to do with international trade. Now, when there is an imbalance in international trade, the dependent countries suffer. That's what is happening to Nigeria. The only thing that we are good in, which is natural resources given to us by nature, given to us by God, the oil, we can't refine it. Now, we sell crude, we buy already refined products in diesel, in PMS, in cooking gas. So what do you expect? Now, the few consumables that we export, those exporters in turn don't even ask their foreign customers to they don't trade in naira. Still they trade in dollar. So everything about us is in dollars. Now, if you know thank God you are in UK. If you know the volume of Nigerians that school abroad in UK there, and year in, year out, they go for foreign currencies to pay their fees. And when they
And
start,
so much money.
yes, when they start for these foreign currencies to pay their fees, where did they get the foreign currencies from? They get it from Nigeria. So everything about us, my dear, is dollar, 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 and pounds.
Because the
So
headline today, the major headline today coming from the Daily Trust says Naira crosses 1,000 Naira per dollar in black market. Cost of living will increase. Now, this is coming from experts. Money laundering, others fueling pressure.
yes, you see another thing here. We are not being sincere and truthful to ourselves as a nation. And the developed nation, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and some other European countries, they are not helping us in any way. I have to be frank. Now, let me give you one very simple analysis. Outside Abacha, so that many Nigerians took our money abroad and deposited the money abroad. Now, the question I want to ask: for over 30 years, or say for over 25 years, that Abacha had died, or for over close to 30 years, over 30 years, that Abacha has left.
Okay, a little bit of network there. And Mr. Emmanuel was just making a very, very a valid point there. Sometimes it's not only about what we import. Let's talk about money laundering. These are some of the issues we're having. And we're going to go back to that. But it's quite unfortunate that as of today, look at the Naira keeps crashing. I don't know what we're going to do. Like the experts are not saying our cost of living will increase. This is coming from experts. And it's quite unfortunate because look at the economy today and the way we're already living. It's quite sad that people are not even able to eat 3 square meal in a country, not even two sometimes. And then we're not adding this to it, and they're saying the cost of living will keep increasing. It's just very sad. Well, we do hope that we'll have Mr. Emmanuel back quickly. And don't forget also we have some major news here as well. Now, a little part also here and there in Edo State. Recall, I did bring somebody from Edo State that says that nothing happened between those two people, and it was just a social media hyping. But yesterday we saw that the deputy governor did apologize, or said if he has done anything in the past, the governor should sincerely forgive him. Now, I know that also that part also has been there for a long time. These are some of the issues we'll be asking our guests today. And of course, we also saw that this morning there was a kidnap. Again, university student. These are some of the issues we're having. I don't know why in a country where we already have had hardship, and now we're not bringing people not being safe to go out to do anything, even in school, in learning institutions. These are some of the issues that I will be bringing as well this morning. Welcome back, Mr. Emmanuel. You were just saying something about our economy.
So
Go ahead, sir.
yeah, now they take our money to the developed countries to keep for over 20 years. And when this country finally agreed to refund the money, they refund exact amount of the money that our past leaders stole and took to their country. Now,
After they would have used the money to.
that is it. Now the question is, what happened to the interest, the yields for this number of years? You see, these people, they are just, it's a form of, it's still a form of slave trade. You will see
you
them
blame them or you blame your leaders?
No, I blame our leaders, but let me tell you something. They will come out complaining and talking down on Africa, talking down on Nigeria, that our leaders are corrupt, this and that and that. But they are the one enabling the corruption. If, for instance, these people don't have where to stockpile this money abroad, will they be able to take this money abroad? The answer is no. Now, like I saw recently where one of the presidents of one of the countries, I can't remember right now, complaining to Putin that the Americans are manipulating the dollar. You know, and this is something that really needs cause for concern. So outside that, outside the behavior of our leaders, corruption and all that, we are where we are today because over time we've refused to do what is right. Just imagine, it is like a paradox. How can we be importing what we produce? Is it not shameful?
It's very shameful.
Do you know the amount of foreign currency? Do you know the amount of FX that goes into fuel importation on a monthly basis? That is huge. If, for instance, our refineries are working and we don't depend on any other country to buy, or we don't import fuel, we don't import PMS, we don't import any petroleum product at all, those foreign exchange will be kept. And I bet you the situation of the Naira today won't be this worse. It is worse because we use foreign currency, FX, foreign exchange, to buy a commodity that Nigerians cannot do without, which is petroleum products. It is as simple as that. Now, aside the petroleum products that consume a lot of FX, now let's go to fabrics, for instance. When I was growing up, we used to hear of, for instance, we used to have a Asaba textile mill and a lot of textile mill in the north. But today, almost all the fabrics we use for the clothes we wear, to make the clothes we wear, they are imported. So what do you expect? So until Nigeria stop being 100% or close to that, dependent on foreign nations for their own consumables, that is when our Naira will begin to stand firm. That is when we'll begin to experience a little close to, I said a little close to balance of trade. Because when there is balance of trade, the Naira will do very, very well. The Naira will be strong against the dollar, against the euro, against the pounds. So we still need to
Well,
look
we
we still
can't
need to
wait.
look inward.
We can't wait for that time to come because it's really saddening, disheartening as well to know that we are like our own problems.
Yes, we are.
Now, away from the dollar and naira issue, now we have a very disturbing news coming this morning that again, unspecified number of students of the Federal University of Gasua were abducted in the early hours of Friday, that is today. Now, what do you make of this? Is as though the country is already had enough. Parents are not able to feed their children. People are not able to even eat to square me as it stands today in Nigeria. And then we have students being kidnapped, and now they're going to be demanding so much from parents who are not even able to eat 3 square meal. What do you make of this, Mr. Emmanuel?
It's unfortunate. I said a long time ago that things like this will continue happening in Nigeria because when Yaradua was there, we had the Niger Delta militants lost control. They started with agitation for the goose that lay the golden egg. They started agitating that Niger Delta is underdeveloped. We are the zone, south, sustaining the economy of the nation. So we need a fair share of the national cake. And somehow we listened to, and we had our own son, our own brother, our own father, became the president of this nation. And a lot couldn't be achieved. For instance, he was president for about 6 years. The East-West Road wasn't done. And so many things. And when somehow the metamorphose from being agitators to arm-bearing people, they became militants. And their activities became so disturbing. They started sabotaging the economy. The federal government had to go into negotiation with them, and the amnesty program was launched. A lot of money was pumped into the amnesty program. So many Niger Deltas benefited. The Jaw mostly benefited because their son was president then. Now then I knew that a time will come when another region will start misbehaving too. And not too long, something that started as a cell group in the north metamorphosed into a full-blown militancy. And that is what we are seeing today. And from Boko Haram to herdsmen, they keep different group keep coming up. And the only way for them to sustain whatever they are doing is to start kidnapping people for ransom. It's unfortunate. Just some days back, I saw a very, very disturbing video of our security agencies, holding meeting with some of those miscreants in Katsina State. And a day or two after, the defense headquarters came with a press release that they are investigating that video to know the authenticity of the video. But that's not the first time that people have been accusing our security architecture of sabotage. Let me put it that way. Some elements in our security architecture sabotaging the efforts of the federal government and even their own security, the security agencies, to put an end to this nonsense. And whenever there is a sabotage like this, all efforts will amount to nothing. And that is what we have seen in Nigeria. Now, the federal government the last president, Muhammadu Buhari, came up with an amnesty program too, where they call repentant Boko Haram members and all that. Even with all that, the activities are still not gone down. We keep hearing spreading into Niger State, spreading down into some part of into Benue. What we used to hear in Benue is herders and farmers clash, but it has metamorphosed into another thing entirely, into some part of Kogi, even down to some part of Edo State. There was even a time in some part of Delta State, in the Abraka axis, where these people were misbehaving and kidnapping people. The thing is, it's so unfortunate, but this is where we are. And the only way to end this thing is first, the security architecture from the Nigerian Navy to the Air Force to the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police, the DSS. They need to purge themselves of some of those bad elements within them that are sabotaging their efforts. You know, when they purge themselves of things like this, then their efforts will start yielding results. You know, it's unfortunate that before these people we plan, you know, move and do whatever they want to do, get away with it. You hardly get any security response, a counter response. By the time they do it 1, 2, 3 times, and there is a severe counter response from our Nigerian security, you see these people they will start retreating. I've never heard that during a kidnapping incident, they were met with fire from the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian police, or whatever, and these people ran away. No. It is because over and over again, their operations are being successful. That's why you hear them, you know, doing it again and again.
Again and again.
So we have a long way to go. I just pray
Sad. And as well, we do condole with the parents of these ones that were kidnapped this morning. We hope that the security agencies will act promptly. That is what we're just crying for. We have too many already on the table.
Can I say something briefly before we leave this topic?
Go ahead.
We as a people too, the citizens of this country, we have a lot to do. We only blame the government for not doing their part. And we refuse to blame ourselves for not doing our part. It is part of our obligation. We owe it to this nation to report criminal activities. But you see, because we think some of them are our brothers and our sisters, we just allow them to get away with what they are doing. You know, if we keep giving credible information to the security agencies, I believe also that this thing will also be checked. We have a lot to do as a people also.
We have a lot to do because there are a lot of news here as to insecurity issues this morning on the major headlines of the national dailies. We have again government mother ASP inspector in Enugu police patrol ambush. Now these are some of the stories we have. They are it's just like an eyesore when we see or hear these things because it's as if nothing is working in Nigeria. A lot of people feel like the institutions are there, but they are not working very well because things are just going anyhow they like, and it's quite unfortunate. Now, away from security issues, now let's move. There's a major news, and this has been topping the news highlight of this week. Fresh strike looms as NLC's ultimatum expires today. Now we know that the workers are the first hold of any stronghold of any nation. We've been seeing this back and forth with the organized labor and the government. And we see here today that NLC leaders meet next week as federal government gets desperate to avert action. Now, what's your take on this? All this is coming on the heat of the fuel subsidy, palliatives, and of course, the hardship on the citizens.
I am on this issue of strike and all that. I am not in with NLC.
Okay.
NLC, NLC, they've lived their usefulness. Those guys are just there to enrich themselves. That's the truth. Now you're talking about the sufferings of Nigerians and all that. Were they not aware that there was a time this country was borrowing money to pay salaries? Another question I want to ask this NLC of a thing. NOPENG is part of them, right? NOPENG is part of NLC. Before our refineries got to the level where they are right now, the Nigerian workforce there, what happened to them? They kept quiet because they were involved in what I call institutional corruption. Yes. Because when they are feeding fat from something that is not good, they tend to keep quiet. It is only when they are not feeding fat from me, that's when they make noise. That's NLC. It's since BAT entered, we've not heard of Nigeria wants to borrow so amount of money from China. They want to borrow this, they want to borrow that. We've not heard of that. That is because somehow they were able to say, okay, no, let's do away with this subsidy. And let me tell you, if we refuse to suffer now to make things better for this nation, then there is no better time to make Nigeria better.
But don't forget also, that means you stand in line with the subsidy removal.
Yes, I stand in line with the subsidy. It is only, okay, for instance, I was involved in a research before now on deregulation of the dancing sector. 100% deregulation, not this deregulation government will just come with spoken words and in action they do nothing. 100% deregulation. Before now, if that industry has been deregulated, would have had private individuals owning refineries because it's a big business. Before now, they just made it the sole right of the federal government to go into refining of products and all that. That's another reason we've been suffering. Because in that business of petroleum products refining, there is no competition. It is just government and government alone. Had it been that sector has been deregularized for a long time, you would see people coming together, different investors coming together, establishing refineries, just like the way Dangote has done. If we have maybe like 4 of that kind of refinery in Nigeria, what do you think will happen? There will be competition among these refineries, and before you know, when there is competition like that, they will give you the best price. So because we left this thing in the hand of government, successive government, I don't know what they were doing. That is the major reason we are where we are today. So for us to move forward, definitely everybody must feel the heat. Everybody.
But let me read out this news headline for you today from the Punch. Okay. That is the major headline that says FG may pay 1.68 trillion for its subsidy. Marketers forecast 900 naira per liter. Do you think Nigerians will be able to cope with this?
Now, you see another problem again. Let me just do a simple analysis here. You know, we have the independent marketers and we have the major
marketers. Let me finish the headline. And it says petrol price to rise again as naira nears 1,000 naira. Crude oil hits $95. IPMA warns operators. Operators commend governments for subsidy proposal. You know, so these are some of the issues. COS oppose fresh subsidy. So we're still having the issue of subsidy is still on the table. They might just recall that subsidy. What do you think, Mr. Emmanuel? Because
yes,
the tax is no longer funny.
Yes, you see, if subsidy will even come in, it is not going to be like the way it used to be.
Okay.
That they were selling for fuel will be going for, let's say, 195. Then the burden of about 400, the burden of about 400 to 500 naira, the federal government will not bear that burden. No, it's not going to be like that again. If, for instance, now they are selling for about 600, 615, if the price is 615, and there is an increment of, let's say, to 700. Maybe if subsidy or 800, if subsidy is coming in now, subsidy will take out that differentials of the difference between 615 and 800. That's what the subsidy will take care of. Not coming below what we used to have in the previous government. No, it won't be like that. Now, if you watch very well, have you ever seen any state government complaining about this current subsidy removal and all that? They are not complaining because their revenue, their allocation is big, is huge. So coming back to NLC, I feel what the Nigeria Labour Congress should be talking about is the welfare of Nigerian workers. Because the major people feeling the heat are those people that their salaries are static. Their salaries are fixed. Let me not use the word static. Their salaries are fixed. For instance, if when fuel was 190 naira or 200 naira, a civil servant was receiving 100,000. Now, fuel has gone to 615 naira.
Okay.
And that particular civil servant is still. Am I still here?
Go
Now,
ahead, sir.
that particular civil servant is still. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Then that civil servant is still receiving that same amount. What do you think of it? What do you think of that civil servant? He will start looking for any means possible to survive. Any means possible to survive includes doing things that he or she is not supposed to do in the office to make extra money. It breeds room for corruption. So NLC should be talking about the welfare of Nigerian workers right now. Because if there is a review in their wages to reflect the current situation of things, definitely it will go round. Because the disposable income of the civil servant or of the Nigerian worker will not increase. Going to the market, because whether you like it or not, that woman that sells in the market has already adjusted her price, because when she goes to the bush or goes to the farm to buy from the producers, those people also, they go to the market too. Now they've added to what they sell. Now the trader too, we also add, after paying transport fare, we also add to what she sells. The only person that nothing adds to his or her own becomes that person that receives a fixed salary. So I think TUC, NLC should be talking about how to review the current, and is it minimum wage or living wage? I don't know.
It's minimum wage. And of course, we have something that, because
When
of
they
these
review
palliative issues, we have palliative issues on ground. And of course, we agree with me as well, Mr. Emmanuel, that it's not even cushioning the effects of this subsidy removal. And these are some of their grievances. Anyway, we have a little bit of network issues there coming from that end. We are still here with our guest. Hopefully he will join us again. Viewers, this is the weekly bulletin where we bring you highlights of the week, recap of the week, where we bring you topical issues. We'll discuss the lens today. We talked about Mohbad, which has been a major headline of the week. And of course, we're talking about a major kidnapping done this morning, adoption of the SUA university students. This is another issues we're having in our country. Insecurity has become the order of the day. We do hope that the police as well will do a quick response to rescue these adopted university students. And then we have a lot of issues. I'm going to bring a very interesting issues, but I will go on a quick break. My guest is having network issues here, so we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, he's going to be joining us again to discuss some of these very, very topical issues. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Hooray! The next President Show is here again. Are you aged between 18 and 30? Smart, bold and possess exceptional leadership skills? Do you have what it takes to be the next youth governor and future youth president? Then register free now at superiorradioandtelevision.com or call the number on the screen. The Next President reality TV show, moving politics out of the polite drawing room into the clamor of the streets.
Nomination is ongoing. Contact us at info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or via +234 814 358 2856 or +447 459 513 619. Powered by SRO TV in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, elevating good leadership in our world.
Hello viewers, you're welcome back from that quick break. This is the weekly roundup, the weekly bulletin, where we bring you highlights of the week. Of course, this week we've seen a lot of major stories, a lot of trending stories, some very disheartening, some very saddening, some are heartbreaking. Quite a lot are heartbreaking, if you ask me. We know that the late Mohbad Nigerian artist is still trending. That has become a global issue. A lot of questions arising as well from there. Who declared him dead in the first place? And a lot of issues will as well wait the result of the autopsy carried out yesterday. And then we saw a kidnap of a university student this morning. We have the Naira that keeps crashing. What will become of the economy? Now, experts are saying that cost of living will be increasing on a daily basis. So something needs to be done. The government have a lot on their decks as well, and our economic experts, you people need to do a lot as well. And of course, we did talk about labor. We've seen that labor has been back and forth with the federal government as regarding strike actions. Today again, the ultimatum we aspire. We wait and see how that plays out. And I was just going to ask our guests that there's a news coming that said the embattled deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has begged his principal governor, Godwin Obaseki, for forgiveness over their political differences. Please forgive me, I miss my governor. These are some of the news reaching us, topical news of the week. And I don't know, but I remember I brought somebody here, and the person did say there was nothing going on between the two governors. It's just media hyping. But as of yesterday, we saw that, of course, indeed, there was quite a lot. As the governor also did locked him out of office. Now, these are some of the issues we have. And don't forget also that the deputy governor moved out some time ago. That was last month or so, or early this month, that he moved that out of the state house. And now we saw that he's back asking the governor to forgive him. These are some of the issues. I don't know what's going on there between those two, but I bet on one of these shows I wanted to ask our guests, but network issues, I presume. I'm going to make sure I bring somebody from that state to address these issues of the governor and the deputy governor. I don't know what will become of our future politics, because we have a governor and a deputy that is supposed to be serving a people, a state, and we're having these issues between the two of them. These issues have been there for a very long time. I know this crisis has been there for quite some time now, and it's quite disheartening that these leaders that are supposed to be leaders, that are supposed because we have a story here that says Obaseki chases deputy away, allocates office to private group. Deputy governor now operates from personal residence. No end in sight to saga. This is shameful, if you ask me. I don't know what's going on in Edo State, but I think is this issue needs to be resolved as a matter of urgency. Because people look up to you. People actually elected you to be leaders of the state. This is not about your personal interest. This is not about your own it's my life. I am the leader. Let me do what. No, this is about a state and the people. This is about Edo State and its citizens. It's not about the governor or the deputy. So whatever it is they have going on there, I don't know. But I think it's quite shameful and it needs to be corrected. Anyway, we also applaud the deputy governor for coming openly, publicly to say he's sorry, he needs his governor back. They only have barely 1 year to go, I guess. So if you can work together, why did you come out as a team? These are some of the issues we should be asking. And for that reason, I'm going to be bringing a guest today. And we also have a news this morning. I know that a lot of people are not very happy as regarding the ongoing right now, talking about the late mobile. But the fuel subsidy issue is something that is affecting Nigerians, and it's something we should talk about as well. Questions persist over petrol subsidy, FG Ronnie, Kessy delegation. This is coming from Ipman, and crude oil price, forest further impact diesel price. These are some of the headlines that we have, issues trending this week. We do hope that, I don't know, this subsidy, like my guest is standing with subsidy removal, while some are saying it should be brought back, some are saying this is the right time, we have to go through the stress once and for all. But I don't know just how long Nigerians will be able to cope with this hardship. These are some of the problems we have. And we do hope as well that the government will do something really quick, because an angry man, an hungry man is an angry man. There's a saying like that. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the show this week on the weekly bulletin. I remain yours truly, Princess Kessy. And of course, before we let you go, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, now X, and of course, YouTube. Hit on the notification bell so you get updates when we have anything for you. And of course, invite somebody to the page, subscribe, and leave us with your comments. We'd love to hear from you. There's a lot of tension right now as we await the autopsy results, but I urge us to be calm, to relax, and let's see how it will be. And of course, while you are there, stay calm, be at peace with yourself and others. Remember, peace is priceless, so let's always give peace a chance in our society. Be on water, eat healthy as well. And a special thanks to our guest today, Mr. Emmanuel Ogenochukwu, BBC PhD, who joined us earlier on the show to discuss some of these very topical issues. We do hope that we saw also that even in Kano, there has been curfew there over, that a little power switch there. I understand how that go, but hopefully the place will be calm now because the curfew has been lifted, and that is good news because people need to go about their daily lives, of course, to get ends meet. These are some of the issues. You can't tie people home because of one issue or the other. I know it's for the security and safety of people, but we still have to go out to eat. And then we hope also that labor, because fresh strike looms as labor's ultimatum expires today. NSC leaders meet next week. We do hope that today is Friday, so of course nothing will be done. Nothing much can be done this week again, but we do hope that their meeting will resolve yet through. People are beginning to see our Nigerian organized labor as a toothless bulldog, like what he just said. My guest did say that. I'm not the one that said it. So they feel like it's their own personal interest. Please, we want the organized labor to put a stop to this, and what they have to do once and for all. This back and forth negotiation meetings is not helping, and we are not making headway. So it's good that they just face whatever they have to do head on, so that they know they are leaving a statement or they are passing a message. These are some of the issues. Anyway, do have yourself a very beautiful Friday. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Where you're out there, drive carefully. It's rainy season, and please do well to obey the traffic laws. I'll see you again next week on the show, Weekly Bulletin. I remain yours truly, Princess Kessy. Have yourself a very beautiful weekend.
TV. Innovative content, global audience.